a now streaming program, and we are onto the sports segment of the program. Remember, I'm your host, Chukwebuka Ike, and I have with me in the studio Mr. Rafael Ojo-Komo. Mr. Rafael Ojo-Komo is a social and sports commentator. Mr. Rafael, welcome to the segment.
Thank you for having me, and we're here again to discuss no antipathy in this one.
No cross functionality.
No cross functionality at all.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Rafi. And also joining us virtually all the way from Delta State is our regular and number one guest, Comrade Abraham Soko, who is a political and sports analyst. Comrade, good morning and welcome to this segment of the show.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Ebuka. Good morning, Mr. Raphael. In the sports segment, all of us are friends. Thank you.
Are we all friends? We are friends, but
we are friends.
we are friends with different colors.
on different colors, we're all wearing different banners and different jersey colors at this part of the show. All right, thank you so much for being here on the show. After weeks of anticipation and the excitement is finally back into the air because football action has returned across all the leagues. The stadiums are now alive again and the chants are ringing. The beautiful game is ready to thrill us all over the world. So on today's show, we'll be diving into the big talking points as actions resumes across teams. We'll be talking about teams' forms, players, star players to watch out for this season, transfer updates, the result of the match they won, and most especially what to expect in the coming futures. So from the drama in the Premier League to the intensity of the La Liga, the Serie A, the Bundesliga, the League One, and beyond. We've got it all covered. So sit back, relax. Let's journey together into the passion, the goals, the drama, and the glory that only football can bring. Football is back, and so are we. Viewers, remember you can be part of this conversation by calling the number showing right now on your screen, or equally sending in your comment via our various social media platforms also showing on your screen. But first, let's start with the headlines. Punch Sports Extra, the front page of the Punch Sports Extra. So the list story there says San Siro Adventure. Then it says Milan, Leverkusen agree Boniface loan move. All right, that story is on page 6 of the Punch Sports Extra. All right, so above the masthead, we have the story on page 6. It says Osimhen calls Akanji to make Gala switch. All right, and page 6 also has a story on Lookman contracts. Lookman contacts EPL clubs after Atlanta return. Page 2 has the story on Nigeria 75-91 to Senegal. The AfroBasket, the Tigers' dream ends in humiliating lose. That story is on page 2. And page 6 has a story on Ideye Eyes playing career. Idili ends playing career. Oh wow, that's beautiful. He has enjoyed the fun already of the game. So beside the masthead, we have the story on World Athletes approves Bamidele's UAE switch. That's on page 2. Page 5 has a story on Fofana hints at Chelsea exits. Also, page 4 have the story on Havertz suffers knee injury. Sorry for that, Arsenal fans, Raphael and the rest. Page 3 has the story on De Jong parts ways with agent. Page 4 has the story on United need to offload 5 players. Page 2, Bayelsa ready to host 2028 Sports Festival. That's coming from the Bayelsa State Government, Dairy. And finally on page 7, it said betting allegations. Yinka faces MPFL panel today. All right, thank you so much. That's that from the Punch Sports cover page. Back here in the studio, remember I still have my guest, Comrade Abraham Soko virtually, and Mr. Raphael here in the studio. So let's start the discussion with the Afro basketball competition. The Tigers has been knocked out of the 2025 Afro basket competition in Angola. Mr. Raphael.
I saw it coming. Backstage we were talking about maybe because they've been told that there's no money.
No, is it that they were told? Who told them? By who? And who did it?
They were told that there's no money. The Tigers won theirs and smoothly, if I would say. So we expected the Tigers to to
equally do the same.
do the same thing. And during the group stage, and that's one problem I usually have, when you coast through your group stage without any hitches or problem, it appears that you have arrived, and so you begin to take some teams for granted or complacent with your games coming.
But also let's look at it from this angle. You know, it's the human body we're talking about, and it entails energy.
It doesn't play. It doesn't come to play
don't
here.
you think that fatigue? In
Let
one
me
way
tell
or
you,
the
we should
other-
complain about fatigue. Senegal should complain about fatigue.
Okay, because they
Senegal
played more.
played more games before meeting the Tigers because they had to go through the playoff route. I think they defeated. I can't remember the team they defeated. They went to because they lost a game, 1-2 in the group, and they needed to play a playoff before qualifying for. I think it's DR Congo thereabouts.
Yeah.
For playing for the quarterfinals. Nigeria went straight, so we played 3 games. They played 4 games before meeting the Tigers. So I expected it. When I was granting an interview yesterday, I said Senegal is a very strong team. The fact that they lost during the group stage doesn't take that away from them, that they're a good team. Mind you, the defending champion didn't even qualify for the quarterfinals, which is Tunisia. So in basketball, we are looking at strong teams in Africa. We're looking at Senegal, Angola, Nigeria, and Tunisia thereabouts. So I saw that coming, but I wish that they were able to go all the way, because it's been a while that we saw these guys do things, and we saw some of those guys, Okoje, Agada, coming to the forefront, showing their skills. You needed to see these guys play, and the way they were smashing these nets from all angles. You can tell that these guys are good players. I think they need more time together to be able to gel and blend well. Hopefully, other tournaments will come and they will show themselves. But for now, I think maybe they, like somebody said, they were told that if not go win that thing, no money.
No money from
So the guy just said, guys, let's just cruise, because the point was too much. 92 thereabouts, or 97 to
91 to 75.
75 thereabouts. So they tried their best, but the better team won.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Raphael. Comrade, were you part of those people that brought the news to the Tigers about?
Yes, he's the one. He's close to them.
About the fact that there won't be any $100,000 waiting for them.
We don't spend all the money for the girls.
Yes, they spent all the money on the girls. And do you think they did their best? Because in basketball we have 4 quarters, and out of the 4 quarters, Senegal won 2 and Nigeria won 2.
Even the one that Nigeria won, the gap was
very slim. I think that's part of the reason why they won the game. So what do you think, Comrade Abraham Soko?
Thank you very much, Mr. Ebuka. What I would want to say is that I did not bring any news to the Tigers, and if I would want to add at this point, I would say that these informations are verified, because the president has set a very good precedent in rewarding our athletes when they perform well in continental and international tournaments. So I don't believe that the Tigers, if they had won this tournament, they would have gone home empty-handed. Having said that, I would want to say that Mr. Raphael has rightly said it, that the better team won on that day. You know, when we watch some basketball games, we see sometimes you win by a single point. Sometimes these single points you get at the last second of the game. But this was not the case. It was they won with a very wide margin, as you have described, 91 to 75. And I think that it was actually a major upset, because we were overwhelming favorites to actually win that particular game. And this has also led me to say at this point in time that I think there's something that Senegal is actually doing very, very right when it comes to basketball. Because if you look at the Tigers tournament, the game that we had against Senegal, it was also a very, very close one. We actually won that particular one, but it was actually very, very close. So the Senegal is actually emerging as a major force in the basketball in the continent. Thank you very much, Mr.
All right, thank you so much, Comrade Abraham Soko. So still on basketball, I want to ask, watching the NBA, the US NBA, and what have you, you see a game where in just a single game, you see a team netting over 200 points. You see one team netting 100 and something points. But looking at Afro basket games, we could struggle. I could hardly see a match where you see a team netting over 150 to 200 points. What's the difference?
I don't think they can. I don't think they can get to 200. They will die for that cause.
Come with what's the difference?
Okay, what I would want to say is
it a
that
different
I
basketball?
think if you want to draw these parallels, it also applies to football. Because when you watch our football, you see that our games are actually tighter. Look at the Shan Confederation. You have not actually seen a very high-scoring game. Sometimes you watch the Premier League, you watch the La Liga, you see some games 5-5, 5-4, 3-2. It's really common. I think there was a game against Inter. I think both legs he scored almost 13 goals. So personally, I would want to put it at our climate. We have a very, very hot climate, we have a very, very hot weather, and we spend in our continent. So we spend a lot of energy. We dissipate a lot of energy.
That's why they introduce water break.
Play these tournaments. So I would want to place it on that. I wouldn't want to place it on proficiency because some of these players that that perform very well in the NBA, and they're actually from the African continent. They're actually African. So I will place it at our very, very hot mid climate. Thank you very much, Mr. Emeka.
All right, thank you. So moving away from basketball, now let's talk about the Total Energy African Nation Championship, which is a CHAN 2024, and currently in its knockout phase with the quarterfinal matches already. And Chile that's the coach of the Super Eagles says we showed our quality, and he also said, I feel sorry as he reacts after Nigerians deserved win against Congo. Mr. Raphael, having team CHAN is basically made up of is expected to be made up of home-based players,
African-based players.
African-based players. All right, so those who play across leagues in the African region, having the likes of Remo Stars, Rivers United, Eimba, and what have you. Is this up to your pal? Is this as to what you expected for an outing as this for the Super Eagles of in the CHAN, just knocked out CHAN game?
For people that may not know, this is equally the Super Eagles, whether I like it or not. I would not, God forbid, anything happens to the Super Eagles now. For example, these are the guys that will represent the country. I remember '94, where Zambian's team were preparing for the Nations Cup in '94, and their plane crashed. They lost the entire team. Only one player was left, Kalusha Bwala, who didn't make the trip. So they had to rally around and put in another team to represent Zambia, and they got all the way to the finals. So, like I said, God forbid anything happen to the Nigerian team. These are the people that will represent Nigeria anywhere, except we want to go and start picking players from abroad who have Nigerian heritage. So the question is this the true picture of our league? Yes, if you ask me. Because first and foremost, I stand to be correct. I don't think these are the best legs we have in the league.
That's the point.
I don't think these are the best legs we have in the league. And if he's saying he's sorry that it was at the last game they showed their true colors, then whose colors were they showing in the first two games that they played? Do you understand me? And it's pathetic, anyways. Because some of these guys have played with the big boys. When I say with the big boys, with the foreign guys, mind you, they played recently at the Unity Cup. About 4 or 5 of them were in that team. And also, Sekiru Alimi, Sadiq, and Tochukwu, there's one other player again. They've had the opportunity of even playing, because when Finidi came as the Super Eagles coach, he invited these guys and they've played with the Super Eagles team. And I expected that they would be able to, with the experience they've gathered, be able to carry these guys along. But it didn't come. If you watch these guys play, you're wondering if these are footballers playing football. They cannot even string 3 passes together. Do you understand me? And you'll begin to wonder what is the problem. The game against is it I've forgotten the game we played that we lost by 4. Sudan. We lost by 4 goals to 0. One player scored an own goal. The same player caused penalty. Ask me where is his head at? And the own goal, you would think, when you see own
The
goal,
way he nodded.
he was facing the goalpost as if it was the only thing that was different was his jersey color. He would have just worn white with those people and just let us know he's playing for them. Because the ball hits the crossbar and you see professional guys hit the ball away from the place,
Backwards.
hit it to the side. My guy was he nodded the ball directly to the goalpost, and it's not like there was a goalkeeper there to catch the ball. The goalkeeper was somewhere else entirely because the goalkeeper had dived following the ball and the ball hit the crossbar. And you face your goalpost. And I ask myself, you have Fidelis Elechuku, who is I think Rangers, if I'm not mistaken. We have Ogumodede, who is the coach of Remo Stars. These two guys play in the local league week in, week out. Are they telling me? Because if you're a coach
And they are
in
part
local,
of the technical team.
they are the assistant
Right.
coaches. Do you understand me? I am coming to play Chelsea, for example. As an Arsenal coach, I know the players I'm telling my players to look out for. I am playing Man City. I know the players I'm telling my players to look out for. That same thing applies in Nigeria. If Enyimba is going to play Rivers United, they have the players you look out for. If Remo is going to play Ikorodu City, there's some players you have to look out for. It means those players are exceptional. Where are they? Where are they? But there's this mentality. I don't know. It's not a mentality. It's just corruption. Where you have a team. Like, for example, when Nigeria went to, thank God we won the Nations Cup. Nigeria went to the 2013 Nations Cup. Our third choice goalkeeper, Agbim, who was the third choice for a very long time in the Super Eagles, was not even the second choice in Enyimba. He was the third choice goalkeeper in Enyimba. They left the first choice. They left the second choice.
And went to pick the
And they
third
picked the
choice.
third choice. And when you see, look at Arsenal, for example. Let me use Arsenal, for example. You have Raya, who is one of the best goalkeepers in the EPL. In fact, PFA just ranked him the best goalkeeper. And then you have as his backup, Kepa, who is also equally a very good goalkeeper. You had in Man City, you have Ederson, who is their first choice. Who is his deputy? I've forgotten his name. He's also equally a very good goalkeeper. Yes, Ortega.
The Argentine player.
Do you understand me? In Liverpool, you have Alisson, who is number one, and then at some point until he left, Kelleher,
who has been sold.
was his deputy. Do you understand me? You don't now go and bring somebody who is then when there's an injury to the first or second, like what happened to Chelsea one year where Kudicini was injured. Not before Kudicini. Peter Cech was injured, Kudicini was injured, and then because they didn't have any chance to change anybody again, John Terry had to go into the goalpost. Do you understand me? Now imagine a situation like that happens to the Super Eagles. You bring somebody who is not even a second choice in his home parent club. What am I saying in essence? You have good players in the league, but you decided to pick the ones you feel you want to carry.
So at this point, this brings about the question: how was the selection process?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm asking. What is Ilechuku and Ogumodede doing? At some point, there was I read on the dailies one time when Ogumodede was saying, "I'm not the one in charge." Even if you're not the one in charge, Eric Shell does not know
your advice.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Eric Shell does not know these people. How many games that Eric Shell watch? But Ogumodede is sure to play at least more than 20 games. Travel all over the country with his players. See that guy, I want two of you to be on him whenever he's with the ball. So we need to get to a point where our selections are done with on merit. On merit, there are some things we shouldn't even say on air because that means we'll be glorifying some comments, some silly comments. When somebody will say you need to pick everybody from different regions. If everybody in that team is from a particular region and they can win us the World Cup, my brother, let them go. I don't have to carry you from the southwest because I must have somebody federal character. This will not be character anywhere.
It's not federal civil service.
Do you understand me? We're talking about competence. We're talking about talent. We're talking about discipline. We're talking about having a unique team. There was a time Arsenal's team were almost filled with French guys. And were they giving the results? Yes. There was a time, if you even check Wolves now, is that Spanish or Portuguese? Are they giving the coach what the coach wants? Do you understand me? So we need to get to a point where we pick these players on merit and not just bandwagon.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Raphael. Comrade Soko, let me find out from you. I want you to give us a comparison of the performances we've seen, the WAFCON and the CHAN, and the just generally the female performance and the male performance.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Ebuka. First of all, what I would want to start by saying that there's no comparison, because it's like a very very big gulf right now between the female counterparts and the male counterparts. And the reason why I would say this is that look at what they achieved. The female team at the WAFCON, they actually won the tournament. And when you look at the male counterpart at the CHAN, they are struggling. In fact, they have been eliminated. I don't think that we are even going to qualify as best losers at this point in time. So what I would want to say is that right now it appears that female sports is actually doing way much better than the male sports at this point in time. And why I partially agree with Mr. Raphael, I would say I do not actually totally agree with him that it's a selection issue. Yes, I believe that there are one or two cases where probably this selection might be based on maybe sentiments, not based on professionalism and what it should be based on. But that is not the case, because if you look at the overall theme, the highest goal scorer, I think, Anas Yusuf in our local league, he was picked. Most of the stars actually came from
Remo Stars
teams in our Premier League that were doing well. The like of Remo Stars, the likes of Rivers United. These are teams that were doing well in our local league.
Can I ask Comrade Soko a question?
Selection. If you look at our
Comrade Soko, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, please.
Can I ask you a question? Yusuf Anas was the top scorer in the MPFL league last season.
Yes, sir.
Do you know when he was brought in our first game? It was almost 90 minutes. It was almost 90 minutes before they played him. You have Arsenal bought Gyökeres. First game, he was already in the squad.
Yeah.
I don't know if you understand me. First game, he was already.
Yeah, I understand you. But there
was a year.
Okay.
There was a year that was Odemwingie came into West Brom. In fact, Odemwingie signed in the night.
The following morning, he was on
in the morning. He was in the team list, and he scored that day, and they won. You have your best player, and you kept him on the bench. If you are going to look for a goal, who should be the person that will be
your best
in
shooter,
the forefront?
Your best shooter should be in the first.
He should be starting.
Yeah. So that boils down to tactics. That's match tactics. That's what it boils down to. So I don't believe that is the overall selection, because it was picked. And if you look at the game against Congo, I think it was the one that scored the goal.
Yes.
So what I would want to say at this point in time, that I think it's the tactics of our coach Eric Schell, and that has always led us to always question in this our studio the caliber and his proficiency as a coach. Are you getting it? Because you have the players, you have the stars. You refuse to actually feed him and give him a game time. But if you look at this analysis that you have given, that's the parallels with this Odemwingie. If Odemwingie had come in and he did not perform in that particular game, you still, Mr. Raphael, will go and criticize him. Why did you not give him enough time?
But why you use them after spending such money? Why you not go use them? Why you not go? When Chelsea bought Pedro? When Chelsea bought Pedro, they never let her rest. Club World Cup, PM, they put him. They started shouting, "Thank God our money is working for us." Why you no bench Pedro? So make him learn the game. Waiting they study and invest in go. You bought him and you threw him into the. And what did he do? He came in and he delivered.
Yeah, so in conclusion, if you actually do something and it works for you, you get the praise. And if you do something and it does not work, you get the criticism. And that's what is happening in our team right now. Thank you very much, Mr.
All right, thank you so much, gentlemen. We have to move. We have to move ahead. And moving forward, let's go forward. Let's go now. You know, the excitement is back and everything is happening as it is expected to happen. And actions are back in Europe. So let's go forward straight ahead to the English Premier League, where we saw at the end of match day one, we have a lot of action recorded. We had the first match of the 2025-2026 English Premier League season with the game against Liverpool versus Bournemouth. And we thought that game was going to be a smooth ride at first for Liverpool, but as the case may be, we saw at the points them struggling to find their footing, and at the end of the day, they succeeded and having a win against the Bournemouth.
I think that game was a game of mixed feelings. Being that, if you notice, the game had someone racially abuse, what's it called? Semenyo. Thank you very much. Racially abused Semenyo, and you know, when I finally saw the person that abused Semenyo, I don't know if I should pity the person or not, because this is you strapped to a wheelchair, racially abusing a man who is fully standing on his feet and playing football, who has not done anything to you. You know, Semenyo had to, at a point, look at him and then continue. And at the end of the day, who had the last laugh? It was Semenyo, because even though Bournemouth lost, he had 2 goals.
He has 2 goals.
And whoever that was escorted out of the stadium. Do you understand me? But saying you're thinking the game would have been a roller coaster for Liverpool is the first game. Mind you, a whole lot of teams played. Arsenal played against Manchester United.
Yeah.
Even though Arsenal won, as an Arsenal fan, I can tell you that my heart was in my mouth, because most of the players didn't come to the party, and Man U had a field day. They played good football. Chelsea played against Crystal Palace. They drew 0-0. In fact, they would have lost that game if not for that rule that came from nowhere. I don't know that rule existed, that if you stand close to a wall, or players should not stand to the opposition wall and what have you. And then we had a team like Everton losing against Leeds United, and Sunderland trouncing West Ham by 3-0. Do you understand me? So it's the first game, and everybody is still coming. How will I put it? Everybody is still doing what they need to do, finding their feet. The new guys are how will I put it? The new guys are trying to show themselves. People like Gyökeres, Sesco, Mbeumo, Konya. You can keep on listing them. Even Ekitike. Do you understand me? They are still trying to put themselves together to prove that they are what. Yeah. So I won't judge any team at this point in time on their first games. Not at all.
All right. Thank you so much, Rafa. So, comrade, let's have your review. Quick review of.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Ebuka. What I would want to add at this point on that Liverpool Bournemouth game, I think Mr. Raphael had actually said it. That's the sad incident of the racial abuse, and I'm glad that the Football Federation of England have given that guy a lifetime ban. The issue of privilege and all that did not actually come in. He has been duly sanctioned, so it's a good one. And it was actually a routine for most of the big things in the world. Let me even use the word in this week. It was the starting week, and most big teams won. I was actually impressed with Tottenham. They had undergone a lot of changes, both managerial changes, and they were able to actually win their game by 3-0. Even their almost dead and forgotten striker actually shone in that particular game. He even won the Player of the Week, the EPL Player of the Week, which is Charlton. So it was actually a good one for most of the big teams in the Premier League. The only surprise was even Chelsea, because most people felt that it was going to be a walk in the park for Chelsea, because we have had a very long streak of winning from the World Club Cup tournaments. So most of our games, we've actually won the majority of our games. So that was actually a disappointing draw, because a lot of people had high expectations for Chelsea with the amount spent and all that. I also want to commend both Mr. Rafa and I, because we both of us predicted that Arsenal we actually win the game against Manchester United. That's to show that we are actually very good sports analysts.
We get eye.
So it's a very, very good one for us because we were able to call that particular game. And as you rightly said, Manchester United actually came to that particular game. During the game, somebody actually shouted that, "How is this Cunha?" I said, I don't know this Cunha. I was like, the Cunha it was actually spectacular in that particular game. At a point in time, it was only the one. He would take the ball from his own half, only he will run to Arsenal's half and take a shot on target and all that. It was actually spectacular. So what is left for Manchester United going by this particular feature is for them to actually build on this. They should actually try to be consistent and build up on this. So it's a good one generally for the EPL. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, Comrade Abraham Soko. Now, going forward, Raphael, match day 2 is fast approaching. Tomorrow we'll be having West Ham welcoming the Blues, and Saturday we have other matches also Sunday. So, looking at the games, the futures for this weekend, Chelsea, West Ham, Manchester City, Tottenham, and what have you, and Fulham welcoming Manchester United, and then Newcastle battling it against Liverpool, having in mind that there has been some controversial things going on in regards to transfer of Alexandra Isak and what have you. And do you think the pack will be ready to have Liverpool and what have you against this weekend's futures?
What the one I would want to stick my neck out for, that I'm looking out for, is that of Manchester City, Tottenham. Because these are two teams that are trying to find their feet. Mind you, Man City
still trying to find their feet.
Yes, because they've done a lot of offloading and they have new players now. You have Reinders, you have Mamouche, who was able to fit into the team. You have there's Bob, who has been in the team anyways, but of course is now playing first team football. And you have some of these young players who are in the team now playing with a Tottenham team that is finding a new face. No Son, no Kane. Do you understand me? So it's going to be a serious battle. Bournemouth, Wolves, there are two teams that might have to slug it out for a point. Brentford, Aston Villa. Brentford also is still trying to find a face because they've lost, just like Bournemouth, who lost like 3 of their mainstream defenders, losing one to Real Madrid, one to Liverpool. The other one just left. I don't know the club he went to. Now you have a Brentford team that has lost in Bournemouth, about to lose Wissa, who has lost Nogard to Arsenal, and also lost their coach to Tottenham. So they are also going to be trying to find their feet in this one. Burnley, Sunderland, a battle of championship friends that came to the Premiership.
Yeah. Let's
see what they make out of that one. Arsenal, Leeds United is a tricky one. Mind you, Leeds just got one over Everton, so you don't want to think because they are just from the Championship, nothing can come out of them.
Yeah, I think you should just pick on Liverpool, Newcastle, Liverpool. So
Newcastle, Liverpool is going to be a battle of the minds. Seeing that there would have been a relationship between the two of them, now it's going to be anger. Because we wanted something from you and you refused to give to us. We show you Pepe. But at the same time, it might end up not being business as usual for Liverpool.
But do you think Alexandra Isak will want to prove a point?
No, he's Liverpool? Not. I don't think he will be in the team.
Okay.
For now, they are still trying to settle all grounds because he has said he will never play for them again. So we don't think they've gotten to a point where he has finally agreed to continue playing, because the deadline I think will end tomorrow. No, I think it's they still have like 10 days or thereabouts for the windows or so. I stand to be corrected, but he has said to them, I'm not playing for you again. So, but for now, Newcastle is playing without Isak in mind. So they'll be going to face Liverpool without Isak, because I don't think, even if he has not said that, I don't think they would play him in a game with that magnitude, saying that there's some controversy around the two clubs concerning him. So, but still, without him, it's not still going to be a roller coaster for Liverpool. It's going to be another strong one because the season is still fresh.
Yeah. All right, thank you so much, Mr. Raphael. So, comrade, let's get your view. We are expecting some very fantastic action this weekend in the match day 2 of the 2025-2026 EPL season. So, let's get your view of the futures and what do you pick? What are your pick for the weekend?
Okay, let me start with West Ham Chelsea. I would say that Chelsea will actually, I feel that they will recover from that particular game, and they are going to actually emerge victorious. They are going to win, get a win against West Ham. And the reason I'm also saying this is because I'm a fan, because Chelsea is one of the teams that have a very strong depth when it comes to depth in the Premier League right now. Because if you look at the game against Tottenham, when we actually when it was actually still a draw, the caliber of players that came in, Delap, Estavio, still came into the squad. So the club has a very strong depth. So I actually see them winning that particular fixture. In the other games, I think on Saturday, Manchester City, Tottenham. That was going to be a very tricky one. Tottenham has been really good. I was really impressed with them because, and that actually boils down to their manager. I think Bruno Lage is going to be a very good manager at this point in time. I think that he's actually been able to integrate the team. It's not as if the players he's using is actually they are spectacular. Like as I said, Richarlison. He was able to get 4 goals in the whole of last season or so. I stand to be corrected. And this season, he had already scored 2. So if you look at their performance against PSG, they also played very well. So Tottenham is a team to look out for this year. And I actually see them at least getting a draw in this particular game against City, because City, they are still struggling with transfers. Some of them they have not been able to fully integrate. But one person I've been really impressed, even when he was playing for AC Milan, is Reinders, their new signing. He is a very good player individually. So much of City's success this season will actually depend on him. And if you look at the first game, he was able to get a very good assist and a good goal. And personally, I feel he was the man of the match in that particular game. On the Monday night fixture, Liverpool against Newcastle, I think Liverpool is going to actually win that particular fixture because I see it's not going to be a walk in the park, but I think Liverpool might just actually edge that particular fixture. In as much as the situation with Alexander Isak is sad, I think that in time, I believe that it will be resolved, and I believe that it should be resolved amicably for all the parties involved. So those are my picks for this weekend game. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, Comrade Ibrahim Soko and Mr. Raphael. So moving away from the English Premier League, let's now move straight ahead to the La Liga, where we also saw a lot of fun, a lot of excitement in the match day 1 of the 2025-2026 La Liga season. We saw the likes of Barcelona winning. We saw the likes of Real Madrid escaping Osasuna. We saw a whole lot of actions in the Spanish La Liga. So, Mr. Raphael, in a quick one, let's have your overview of the actions we saw at the match day 1 of the La Liga games. Spanish La Liga.
The match day 1 of the La Liga 2 is just like the EPL, where you have a lot of teams trying to prove a point. It's the first game. When you've played like 10 games, you now know how to approach a particular team, but now you're facing them in a new season. Everybody's coming with new tactics, new ideas. So that's why you saw a team like Real Madrid actually struggled against Osasuna. In fact, the game, if not for the penalty, I think we would have ended in a stalemate. Don't forget that Espanyol also defeated Atletico Madrid. And Barca defeated Mallorca, even with 2 red cards.
Yeah.
Do you understand? People thought it was going to be loads of goals after the 2 red cards, but it wasn't meant to be like that. So I think it's still playing out as this is the first game. Everybody trying to get into the whole euphoria of the league. I think with time we'll begin to separate the boys from the men.
All right, thank you so much. So we're just still fresh into the league, and with time, we'll have to separate the boys from the men. So, Comrade Abraham Soko, did you notice any controversy in the officiating between the match and the match they won? Is it Mallorca versus Barcelona? I think at some point some people said something, and someone said something, and another person said something. So, in getting your view from the match they won, let's find out from you. Did you notice any controversy in the officiating?
Okay. Yes, yes. I think I was trying to actually rack my brain and say, because I actually watched that particular game, and I was actually trying to rack my game when you mentioned it. Okay, so I think the controversy I saw came from the goal. The second goal scored by Ferran Torres. I think it was the one that scored that particular goal, and somebody was actually down, injured, and the whole of the Maluka thing expected. And I even felt that the ref even blew the whistle.
Wouldn't
You
count the
understand?
goal. Yeah.
But I felt that he actually blew the whistle, and the Barcelona players actually just played on, and they scored a goal, a very magnificent goal at that. So it was actually after the whole review of the whole incident that I saw that the ref actually did not blow that whistle, because judging by the rules, if the ref had actually blown, the game would have stopped. I don't think that
that goal would have counted.
There was no basis. There was no basis for that goal to have been given. So the common sense thing here right now is that the ref actually did not blow for that foul. So that now boils down to the unprofessionality of the players, the Mallorca players. You have to play with the whistle, no matter the circumstance, because it was obvious. And what made that incident sad was that the player was actually fouled in his own 18, and Barcelona were actually attacking that particular same box, that particular same 18. So that was actually really made the whole incident really, really sad. On the part of the Barcelona player, I think that they could have actually use their own common sense and exercise fair play at that point in time, because you saw that there's no honor in that kind of goal. To be very, very honest, there's no honor. Yes, the ref had given the goal, but there's no honor in that particular kind of goal, because you saw that these guys were a man down due to unfortunate circumstance. You could have easily just played the ball out. So I think that's the controversy I noticed from that match. And from there on, the Mallorca players became really disillusioned. And if you look at the whole game, the duration of the game, they had two red cards. They actually lost their cool after that. So it was really, really a sad one in that particular game. Thank you very much, Mr. Ekpa.
All right, thank you so much.
And to add to that, I think this is how referees spoil games.
Okay.
Just little things that they would have been able to handle very well, and you don't do it. And like Comrade Soko said, they lost it, and that's where we got all those red cards from. Because at that point in time, there was no need for them again. According, they threw caution to the wind. There's no point to be professional anymore. Since this is how you want to do it, let's do it like that. And even if the ref didn't see that foul or claim not to have seen that foul that has happened to that player on the field, what was VR's work? Do you understand me? So sometimes you begin to ask yourself, is it that these people have a preferred team that they look out for? And like Comrade Soko said, there's no honor in such goal. When you see a fellow man down, he's not faking the injury or what have you. Do you understand me? And you're playing around that person, and you can see the person is on the floor. And even when the referee didn't call for it, there's where humanity comes in. Do you understand me? If the ref is doing except all of them are in the same in alignment in whatever it is that they have agreed to do, but if not, I think a man on the ground is not somebody you should be beating. He's already lying on the ground. Do you understand me? Let the ball go for fair play. If you're going to beat Mallorca, you're going to beat Mallorca. That one goal will not stop you from beating Mallorca.
All right, thank you. So starting from you, Comrade Abraham Soko, the match day 2 is up for this weekend, starting with tomorrow's game, Betis against Alves. So let's have your pick, cutting across the La Liga games for match day 2.
Okay, thank you very, very much. On the La Liga games, I'm going to actually start from the Saturday fixture. Maluka against Celta Vigo and Barcelona. I see Barcelona actually winning Levante. Some of these La Liga teams are proven to be really, really strong at home, as you can see against Espanyol when Espanyol played Atletico Madrid in Match Game 1. But so that Levante game might not be actually a walk in the park for Barcelona, but I see Barcelona actually emerging from that one. On Atletico Elche, I see Atletico actually winning that particular fixture because they had a bump in the road in their first match. So it's going to be actually a revenge mission for this one. And they're actually playing in front of their fans for the first time. So on the last game on Saturday, Match 2, Maluka against Celta Vigo. I think Maluka is actually going to win this particular fixture. Maluka is a very good side, despite the controversy coming from their Match 1. It's a good side. And Celta Vigo actually sold some of their very good players. So it's going to be a walk in the park for Celta Vigo. So these are my top picks. I don't think there is actually any spectacular fixture for this match day 2, no standout fixture right now because most of the games are actually routine games. Real Madrid is going to be playing Real Oviedo. I don't see Real Oviedo actually winning Madrid, if at all. The situation with Madrid right now is that what I want to add is that in the game against the last game they played, you saw Rodrigo, I think against Osasuna, he was benched for the entire 90 minutes. And I don't know, I don't see the basis for such action. Yes, we understand that you want to ease him out of the thing, but he's a very, very good player. He's actually an £100 million footballer at this point. That's his rating. Well, what is the basis for you benching him for the entire duration of that particular?
He was not even dressed for the game.
It's not actually fair to him. What I just see is that the coach don't like him. They want a situation where they want to ease him out of the team. It's not in the coach's plan and all that. So it's a sad one. And sometimes that's why I'm not, when we have these transfer controversies, I actually don't just take sides with the management of these clubs, because sometimes some of their actions, they are bewildering, to say the least. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, Comrade Abraham Soko. Rafael, let's have your pick for the weekend for the La Liga match day 2. Sorry.
Like he rightfully said, a lot of these games that are going to be played are not strong ones, except for Atletico, who want to get their pound of flesh back, but they'll be collecting it from the wrong team, because it's not Elche that defeated them, it's Espanyol. So, and you know one thing about the Madrid teams, Espanyol is a Catalonia team. Whenever they meet, it's like a clash of titans. But right now, Atletico will be playing against Elche, and I think they want to get their record straight and come back fighting hard. We have a Barcelona playing against Levante. That looks to me like a walk in the park, if you ask me. And then we have Mallorca playing against Celta Vigo. Mallorca, mind you, are 2 players down who are red-carded. I don't know how they will intend to bounce back from that game against Barcelona, but I believe they will be able to come out and believe that they will get a good result out of this one.
All right, thank you so much, gentlemen. All right, so at the transfer window, we would have loved to talk about the other leagues across Europe, but because of our time, we're very fast on this. So the transfer window will soon come to a close for this period. It's going to run from 16th of June or July thereabout, and it's going to end on the 1st of September. We still have a whole lot of expectation from a whole lot of other clubs cut across Europe. So we're going to hear from our guest a few of those news, transfer, both rumors and the updates. So Rafael, what's the updates you have on the transfer window across all teams?
Right now, the major one right now is Isak, Newcastle and Liverpool saga, and Newcastle have said to him, "You're going nowhere." Isak have said, I'm not going to play for you again. So we want to know how that would end up, if they will eventually be able to settle their differences, and he will continue for Newcastle and hopefully maybe live in good faith. We have Boniface, who is going over to AC Milan on loan. So as it is right now, they are putting pen to paper and working things out. The one that makes me happy is Eze coming to Arsenal, last minute rush, and that was because Havertz got injured, a knee injury that will keep him out for a while, and Arsenal needed to replace him ASAP, because Tottenham was going to come for him, using Richarlison as part of the deal to get him, and Arsenal just went boom. And when you hear Romano say "here we go," it means that player is moving. The next thing we saw, "here we go," and then an Arsenal shirt on Eze. And then we have Chelsea, who are already looking at offloading, I think, some players so they can bring in more. Chelsea still wants to do some business in the market. Manchester United is also letting go at least about 5 players. They want to let go about 5 players. Garnacho wants to go to Chelsea, but I don't know how that's going to pan out. Højlund also wants to leave. They have a lot of players who are waiting on the sideline to leave, because with Mbomo, Cunha, Sesko in that team, I don't think there's any chance for any of these players at all. So I think that's what the market looks like at the moment. But they still have some days. I think a week thereabouts.
Up to September 1st.
So they still have some weeks to do this business, and everybody is getting. In fact, if I were Chelsea, I'll be rushing for Donnarumma at the moment, because he's free from PSG.
Yeah, all right. So some comments is coming in and saying all thanks to Havertz. He should have.
They are thanking Havertz.
Should have made this move in the last transfer window in January, but he later did it late in February, and it cost Arsenal a whole lot of damage. All right. So let's move over to you, Comrade Abraham Soko. Let's get some few updates from you on the transfer windows updates.
Okay, thank you very much. I have touched on the Rodrigo issue. It's a sad one, so I believe that he should actually move. Real Madrid should actually grant his switch, and it should actually move. Also, I would want to touch on the Bereje Eze O's transfer saga. Funny enough, Tottenham has been chasing Eze for almost a year now. And even up to yesterday or 2 days back, they have been chasing him. And it was really shocking to see Arsenal coming in the last minute to actually hijack that deal. But I have no sympathies for Tottenham at this point in time, because sometimes some of these players, they are worth it, but you keep adding 2 million, 1 million, 1 naira to their fees. I think yes, that's the situation, because the situation was that Tottenham was actually offering a Crystal Palace 50 million, then 5 million in add-ons. Arsenal swooped in, and they offered 60 million, I think, and about 8 million in add-ons. And to be very, very honest, I think Arsenal has more prospects as a club than Tottenham, so it was a no-brainer for Eze. So it's actually a very, very good deal for Arsenal at this point in time. We are in the coming days. I believe that transfer will be concluded. On the Isaac issue, we have spoken on it a lot. It's a very, very sad one. Isaac has come out to say that he's not going to play for Newcastle any longer. And then I think that with all due respect to Newcastle, if a player is saying that his mind is not in your team, why don't you let him go? That's the situation we're also having in Italy with Atlanta. The life and soul of these players have actually left your club. Why don't you allow them go instead of this whole controversy, instead of this whole back and forth? It's unnecessary. Even if you look at Newcastle, in the coming days, they are going to sign Wisa. So you have a very capable replacement in Wisa coming in from Brentford, but you are still hanging on to Isaac. Sometimes I just feel that they are probably just intentionally frustrating some of these football players, and it's not actually fair in my opinion. So I believe that transfer should be rounded in time. So in the coming days, I feel that we're going to see a more robust exchange between these clubs. Like Manchester United, they are saying that they need to offload almost 5 players. Sancho, I thought that Sancho has agreed terms with AS Roma, but AS Roma offered almost $20 million. Manchester United accepted, but that deal failed to go through because, based on personal terms, I believe that the salary being offered to Sancho was not up to his standard. So he actually rejected that personal terms, and that move failed through. So it's now left for Manchester United to find better prospects for Sancho and the other four players they actually aim to offload. I think Mr. Raphael mentioned of Donnarumma. Chelsea is going to get Donnarumma since it's free. The situation with Donnarumma is that it's proving to be a very, very expensive buy for a goalkeeper. He has a 1-year contract left, I think, and that has proven to actually hinder that deal, because if he was a free agent, he can actually move for free. You understand? To be less cheap, it will be cheaper for clubs. And I think personally, I feel that Sanchez is a very good goal stopper. He has issues with his leg work and some silly mistakes he makes. So I believe that the Chelsea hierarchy has decided to give him a chance. So we are not going to get a goalkeeper.
And no one here complain. No,
I think Manchester City actually needs Donnarumma more, because the replacement they had for Ederson in that game against their first game, it was actually shaky. He did not have the physical presence, because I watched that particular game. In as much as he got a clean sheet, he did not really have the physical presence. That's Trafford. It's an English goalkeeper, so I don't actually see the Pep Guardiola actually sticking with him. So I think Man City might probably get Donnarumma for the new season. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much for your review and your update. And viewers, that's how we'll wrap it up for today's edition of the show. It's been an exciting time bringing you all the latest from the world of sports. And please remember that this beautiful game never stops, and we will never stop bringing you all the news we need to do. And okay, again, till next edition, we want to remind you that please follow us on our social media, be up to date with all our content and the actions as they unfold across all our channels and in the league and beyond. So a big thank you to my co-anchor at the beginning of the first segment. A big thank you to my guest, Mr. Raphael Ojankomo here.
Thank you very much
for making the time to be here on the show, and equally a big thank you to Comrade Abraham Soko for joining us all the way from Delta States. And to you, our viewers, thank you for staying with us, and don't forget to follow us, just like I said again, on our next edition next time for more analysis, more updates, and more sports entertainment. But before I sign off, I want to especially appreciate all of you, my friends, my colleague and family, for your prayers, your wishes and gifts I received on my birthday yesterday, and I truly value your love and your support.
We didn't get cake. We didn't get cake. I thought I was going to start this, so we didn't get cake. For the record, Komesoko, we didn't get cake. Let it be on record.
I didn't
that we did not get cake.
I've not gotten your gift, and I believe there will be cake. So I also want to say a massive thank you to everyone who celebrated me, for my colleague, my family, especially my family, for the surprise package, the dinner, the packages, and Sugar Cravings. Oh my God, Sugar Cravings. You are the best in town. I can't thank you enough for the sumptuous cake, and my team, the crew.
After also with this cake, I'm hearing thank you for the sumptuous cake. This life. This life.
We didn't get any sumptuous.
We didn't get any sumptuous cake.
So you owe us a cake.
Raphael, okay. Komesoko, I'm waiting for your branded Chelsea jersey as a gift, and then Arsenal jersey from
If I don't see that Sugar Craving something sumptuous, I don't.
Get a jersey.
All right. I'm sure Sugar Cravings is ever available to give us cake whenever and every time. And also to my team here at ACNN TV, the management and everyone and staff and everyone else, for your prayers, your wishes, and your gifts, your gift of love. They are so overwhelming. I felt every bit of it, and I don't take it for granted. So God bless you all richly. I am Chukwe Bukaike, and until we meet again on this airways, stay passionate, stay positive, and keep the spirit of the game alive. God bless you. Bye bye.